Yeah, you can save it just like that. Just the label's name is unknown.
Just try to make sure you know where you're saving it, because it will tell you at the top.
Well, now I'm upload. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Hey.
Technology is
the Short Rest Game Lounge. I love it.
I need full-on feedback. My sister is like, "What's with the floating cup?" I hate everything about it, and I'm like, "Oh
shit." It's because cups float, dude. Have you not?
I don't know. I kind of like it. She's like, "No," and I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, it was better than my drawing.
What if they have little wings?
I'll show you guys my drawing.
I think we shouldn't be explaining why it's floating. I think that floating is just because it adds energy and animation to it.
Is there a way that you can put the short rest in the D20?
That'd be too small, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just thinking outside the box.
Or the D20 might have to be bigger, and then it would be too big.
Well, the D20 is already way too big as it is, but I think it works. My impression is that it comes towards the user, so I think it works.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Rennie and I are already talking, and there will be adjustments. But
my only feedback is I do like the grid in the middle of the table, but maybe we should do something a little bit less vague.
Well, it's
maybe
it's
a map or
maybe
maybe
a
board
game,
but
so I'm like,
it's the struggle of logo design where you have to keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm like,
don't
I wrote a bunch of little pieces.
There, but put something that might look relatively close to Monopoly plus Sorry from the far. If you have something in your eye and it's allergenic outside, you've been sneezing for a little while, and also you had an infection last week. That
I just put a blur filter over everything.
You went over to the optometrist, and they didn't give you the right prescription, so you're a little fucked either way.
Is it A or B? It's A.
Gotta say, I'm with Laura on the whole flying cup. I think it needs to go on the other corner.
Where are you going on the other corner?
It's
a flying cup. It doesn't go in any corner. It's flying.
With Laura on that flying cup.
How do you know that's not an invisible man playing?
But then it'll be too even.
Then it's too even?
Yeah, because there's something physically on the right that kind of shows your eye, because there's the cup and game lounge. You look on the left, there's nothing but a flying cup. It's a flying cup, so it really animates.
I couldn't find anywhere to put the game lounge part. I was like, well, on the right side.
Honestly, it looks like we're in the mid flip of a table.
Yeah.
Like the DM screen and the cups and the dice are flying off. And at the other end of the table, that hasn't started moving yet. So
we haven't caught up with that. That's, I'm like...
I want to do an unnecessary engineering feat where I make a table that has a little bit of an outline cut out in the middle of it, just so it rests on an axis, and when you press a button, the table flips itself.
Yes.
There's just an outside frame and an actual table, and then a little garage door motor, which would definitely kill somebody. Hooked up to I don't know, a hand drill spinning thing. Maybe we just go with a hand drill. And you press a button and the table just flips over, and it's just a piece of wood that just has a center axle through it, from one end to the other into the frame, so you can't see it, and it's not it's gonna fly outwards. It's still, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna engineer a dangerous table where you can literally lean down and chop your own head off.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want
the table.
It adds to the stakes.
The Gia table. The Gia table, better than the table.
You just have to constantly play games with people. That would just be your shtick. You don't know how to use this properly. You're just hey, you want to play some games? Everyone's like, no, that's weird. Why would I do that?
I remember that thing. I think it's fucking hilarious.
That's an actual item that you can buy, and I have one, and it's fabulous.
I've seen that with a cat's paw. That comes
even
more hilarious. What if you just hold the switch on?
I mean, it doesn't do anything. You kind of just like vroom, 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 vroom.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll just say, "Can you cut it out?"
You hold the switch on it, like a little needle comes out and stabs your finger.
Stab! Ow!
A little like European gnome like comes out and just like stabs you in the ankle and then runs back. Fuck you! Comes back.
Insults your family.
Right.
I added a little scange into my shitty webcomic.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh man, nice.
He's canon now.
It's your boy.
Oh, I totally forgot if Ray would ever stop by here, but there was an Easter egg of that in her game that we were playing. We were playing. She was DMing. It's our nerds game that we play with the kids on the weekend, and my character won one of those like strength competition things where like you take a hammer and you hit the thing and it goes up and it rings a bell. And she was like, all right, well, you win a plushie. And I'm like, well, what kind of plushie? She's like, I don't know, give me a monster. And I'm like, I couldn't think of a monster. So I was like, goblin. And she was like, all right, well, you have, he hands you a goblin and it has like a little vest and kind of like a blank, but also kind of murderous look on his face and a straw hat on it. And by the time she said straw hat, my dumb brain finally caught up. I was like, hey, I know what you're doing. Look at you. I love it. I now have a Scange plushie in another game.
Hey.
I need one in real life. I need a Scange plushie in real life. That's
The
what I
Scange
need.
match. The Scange match is where it at.
I gotta write like 2 more paragraphs. Give me the remaining of the 16 minutes. I'm gonna go deaf and blast music until I have something written down.
Yeah, you do it.
BRB.
Oh,
Yes, it's not gonna go until you go.
my medical bills came in. I'm
And
sweating.
you filed them in the proper filing place, which is the shredder or trash.
In the fireplace, yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. So we were like going towards like a fucking temple and then Sync died, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're sacrificing
Good.
him to ghosts.
yeah. We saw what's happening on the other side of the door and we're like, actually, you got this.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but be prepared for me to, like, not be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm prepared. We got this. I believe in this. I feel like everybody is like, we're all gonna die, and I'm like, we got this.
I don't know that
I'm just gonna pull out. I'm gonna pull out a boombox and just like play super inspirational.
You are a cleric, so you might be the most useful person here, because you can deal with undead. Very, like,
Yes. I should see what nice things I have on my thing while I'm at it. Yeah, well, like one of my cantrips is Sacred Flame, and that's radiant damage. And undead don't like radiant damage.
What if they're radiant undead? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, then that might not work, Mr. This Gage.
You also have turn undead if you need it.
Yes, I also have Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Which is amazing too.
Yeah.
So
if things are going really bad, you can always just like turn undead for a bit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which will at least force them to run away for a bit, and we can like heal up.
Yeah. No, I'm playing this
right now. Seriously, playing D&D without clerics is playing on hard mode.
Hard mode. All right.
A lot of potions.
Eve is here. What's going on? What am I seeing? I see Scange, and heck is that?
Don't worry about it.
There's a really big thing with blue hair, and then a really thin thing.
It looks like some Steven Universe-esque type.
It does.
Things.
I was just thinking. It looks like crystal gems.
It looks like Ben 10.
These are all apt comparisons.
Benison Tennyson.
Benison.
And then the thing on the right looks like the heat miser, but went through a stinking juicer.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'm Mr. Yeet.
Heat miser.
I'm Mr. Sun.
Dun-dun.
I'm Mr. Heat miser. I'm Mr. 101.
I watched that movie all the time when I was a kid, every Christmas.
Because it's
Fabulous.
the best.
It's
That
so
fucking
good.
musical number, man.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm
There.
Mr. Snow.
Dun-dun. I'm just the music.
I'm Mr. Icicle.
Well,
I'm
who
Mr.
we
Tenderly.
where's Monster Mash here? What's going on with the Monster Mash?
He's writing. He already said that.
I'm sorry, I was out.
Stuff for the sesh.
Trying to figure out how to divvy up your items to the rest of us.
Listen.
I did Sperno.
No, Ferno died. Ferno literally combusts with me when I die because he's like a he's not an astral projection. He's just kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's not astral projection. He's an actual thing. He's just a familiar.
Yeah.
He's not real.
No.
He's real.
I would give this game Sperno. Like, there you go. This game. Here's Sperno.
Oh, no.
He would eat him. The Scans would quite literally eat Ferno.
Or the other way around.
Why do you care? You'd be dead.
It's whoever wins the initial battle.
It'd be Ferno.
Probably.
It'd be Sperno. He's got 3 heads. Chomp.
I'm Mr. White Chris. Nah, it's gonna be stuck in my head the entire sesh.
Same here.
Starting to melt in my clutch.
I'm too much.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited for this encounter. I want to see what happens with Leston.
Yeah, I want to see what happens with me.
Going
too.
to save. Lesson's like, yeah. I'm gonna save her. That's what's gonna happen.
I need to speak with the DM because I've been seeing all of these like memes on this Tiamat work group or this group, and all of them are about level 20 merchants, and I don't understand why that's so funny. I don't get it. Like,
is that like when GMs like, in order to prevent murder hobos killing merchants, make every single merchant like a level 20 wizard, so that like, instead of attacking the merchant, you kill the party?
Maybe.
Yeah, he was saying it was like a debate kind of thing, and then it just like turned into a bunch of memes. I guess people are like, DMs like they railroad when they put like level 20 shopkeeps or whatever. He was like, no, it's not railroading.
What are we talking about?
That literally isn't railroading. Railroading is
I was
like
gonna say it's not.
people that like just make up like a definition of like people overuse words. You know.
They think that anything with rules or consequences is railroading.
Railroading is anything I don't like.
Yeah. Basically, if the DM says, "Oh no, you can't do that," it's why are you trying to control me and railroad me into doing what you want? It's like I'm not. I'm just saying you can't just like.
Our DM is giving us pre-written flashbacks.
Because do you know, like, I have actually been railroaded before. So like, what railroading is like, this is a railroading DM. So like, we were playing a game, and it was, like for a while the game was like fun, and we were having fun and going along with it. But we very rationally made this decision that we weren't enjoying like this NPC. This NPC was very obviously evil, very obviously going to betray us, but we'd gone along with like the plans for a while, and we decided, hey, this NPC is going to betray us, we're going to leave town. And so we left town. But somehow, impossibly, this NPC had placed a tracking device on us, so hunted us down, captured us, and brought us back. That's railroading. Didn't give us the option to leave.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, so, like, and so that's railroading. That's, like, so magically we didn't have the option to leave. Like, gave us the illusion of choice, but brought us back. That's what railroading is. It's like, you don't have the option to do what you want to do. We're just going to bring you back and force you onto this plot. That's what railroading is. People just misuse railroading.
Yeah. It's basically the DM saying, this is what I want you to do, and even if you, like, pick something else to do, he just makes you go back to it regardless. And it's like, no, you can't do anything else. You have to do this.
I was railroaded into choosing a goblin. I originally wanted to be a berry person.
Fuck you have to be a goblin. Actually,
well, it's the best railroad ever.
Person, though.
I looked it up, you're like, no.
Yeah,
fine, I'll be a goblin, but
I wanted to be a vampire, but he was like, no way. And I'm like,
fuck that shit.
Railroading is like,
90% of this campaign is in sunlight. What are you gonna do?
Now I'm just
big
the
umbrella.
complete opposite. I have a clip.
Yeah, railroading is like when you should reasonably have other options, but like, no, they slam the door shut in your face and force you back onto like set tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could completely just run and close the door behind us and then come up with a different strategy.
Yeah, we could leave right now.
Is the door even open?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, the door's open. We could just leave right now and then come up with a better plan with these ghouls.
They're in darkness right now. We could leave right now. We have that option.
We do. Maybe gather Leston. Maybe gather Leston's thoughts. We don't have to fight them right now if we want to come up with a plan and look at ghouls.
I have already told you my plan. Why are you trying to railroad me into not doing that? I'm not trying
Wait a second.
You're railroading me.
If anyone's about to die, the plan is just cry and make it seem real sad, and hopefully the DM has a heart and says you get knocked unconscious.
He does not.
See, that's exactly right. We could leave, but then, you see, we would have the consequences of, like, we would lose out on that gold, and we would be, like, you know, like, cowards or whatever. So, like, we just have those consequences, and we could live with that. Do we want to?
Well, I'm not saying we don't come back. I just say that we gather, you know.
Well, the problem is we it's okay if we go, but we do have to, like, come back, because we're supposed to clear this out.
Yeah.
So that way, if there's a dragon attack, they can come here and, like, chill. It's not just like, we're just not going to do this quest at all. Sorry.
Right. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever.
About you guys being safe, we don't care. Just
and also, we might actually be better off doing this while we've got darkness, because maybe we can deal with them one at a time. We'll see. We'll see what we think.
Okay, well.
Funnel them through the door. And I'll just put Moonbeam right there, and they'd have to go through this giant radiant beam.
So we're just like waiting until they finally find their way out of the darkness, and then just get immediately wrecked by some moonlight.
Doesn't darkness have a time limit?
An hour.
Yeah.
Oh, an hour? Oh, okay, yeah.
Or she could just turn it off.
An hour is literally 1 minute is 24 turns, so we would be here for like
10 turns.
10 turns? Oh, okay.
I mean, we could just sit here and wait for an hour. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Could.
What else are we gonna do?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they don't come, it's like, whatever.
I mean, I could just honestly, it'd be funny. I could just have, and I'm gonna have Inferno just keep doing Firebolt, just in there. Just keep using Firebolt. It's a cantrip. There is as many times as you want.
Yeah, there's no reason why you cannot just sit here and use cantrips and shoot at them for an hour. There's no reason why you cannot.
Right, I have Sacred Flame, and that's also radiant, so I can just be like, throw.
Sacred Flame is the saving throw, though, so you actually had to see the target.
Nobody asked you. Gosh, what are you in charge of?
Come on, guys. You think it's my first day DMing?
Dang it!
The guys just rolled out of here.
Darkness.
You know what? Casting... Actually, if you do plan to cast Moonbeam into the darkness and just have them walk into it, that's actually a really good plan.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Like, I'm like, yo, I have Moonbeam.
Because you can move it.
Yeah, exactly. Moonbeam is definitely on the agenda for the evening.
Alright, anyway. Let's start.
Darkness clears and we realized it was a bunch of innocent civilians.
Oh no! Don't say stuff like that. I think they're not going to retire. Selfish.
Middle of the room is a pineapple.
No! Triggered.
All right, is that what we're doing?
All right.
Is that are we just gonna be doing Fireball for the next hour?
I mean, we could all.
No, I genuinely actually think casting Moonbeam into the darkness and moving it, and then just picking off anyone who comes towards us through the darkness is actually a really good strategy.
Because, I mean, I think that again, like you said, there's no reason why there's no reason why I just can't keep shooting Fireball. Yeah. And then that can be what Ferno does, and then everyone who comes through, we can just pick off one at a time.
Yeah, I think that's a really good strategy, actually.
Pretty hilarious too.
I mean, it's also the pansy way out, but also I don't care.
Well, we're not going to run into the darkness. That would be stupid.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I agree.
I could take it off if you guys want.
But that would also be stupid.
I was mostly buying time for poor Aaron to not be stuck in a room with a bunch of ghouls.
Listen, it worked.
That
was phenomenal.
I would at least cast Moonbeam before removing the darkness.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think the original plan is hilarious, and I would be down with that. My character does not care about being a pansy.
I'm pretty sure all our characters are basically like, don't want to die. Yeah.
We all like our characters.
Leston,
Mine is like, hey, you do this for me. You go out there and you do that for me. I'm gonna stay in the back.
Leston would be about being brave, but she's having a literal mental breakdown right now. So
mental crisis.
Yeah. Leston would be stupid and bravely run in and attack ghouls herself, but she's literally having a mental breakdown right now. And she doesn't want any of you guys to die.
I'm gonna steal Leston for a second.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
The last paragraph I'm doing, I'm just gonna purely lift from what you gave me.
Yeah, perfect.
The couple hours later, right down to the last thing. So I'm just gonna read that verbatim.
I would just like to make just one note. I think so Kieran should be a captain just based on his rank, but just to be clear, there probably should be at least one guy there with him who is also a higher rank than him, maybe a major, because someone needs to give an order in the third flashback to retreat in order for Kieran not to be a coward. If that makes sense. Someone needs to give a retreat order.
Can you give me a name or just give me a description? I'll say that he's in the tent.
Just say major, the major. It doesn't need to. He doesn't need to have a name. The major.
Okay.
There's the major. Leston may not know this guy personally.
Any reference to lieutenant? I don't think I. Let me see.
Because I think that makes sense. Because I think
I'm going to say Captain Charon.
because this mentally makes sense to me, because I think a lieutenant would lead about like 20 people, a captain would probably lead about 100 people, a major would lead about 500 people. So that makes about the right amount of sense.
After I get to I basically want to know if you want to read that last part where it's cut to several hours later as a unit marches south. Do you want to take that over? So we're gonna end with what you sent me. You know, the cut to several hours later as the unit marches south. That whole spiel. I kind of want you to narrate that part.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can
cool
do
with
that. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, fuck, it's not letting me copy because I don't have the product. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I've got it in my docs. I can bring it up on my phone.
Okay, so the line that's going to get us there is basically we're just going to have a couple quick flashes of, or this is how it's going to go. So we see a man that we know as Captain Chiron in his tent going over maps and battle plans. What looks to be a scout walks over with a fine scroll in hand and gives it over to Chiron. The way is clear. No enemies on the road. They're all held back by the king's army. He nods. Moments later, we see Chiron, with the major, hand the scroll over to Leston. The king's scouts have confirmed the enemy is pinned down to the other side of the city. She nods in confirmation. That's when you're going to come in with cut to several hours later. Okay?
Cool.
All right. Is there anything else that I need you to say? No, that's kind of cut off. That's good. Formation like we practiced. We already know that you're going to be doing that one. Let's see. I don't know. He hasn't mentioned anything. I'm sure that gets cut off. I think that we should be good.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's
okay.
go.
So let's do this.
Alrighty.